So let's talk about what baby boomers want to know about Social Security planning. First thing is, will Social Security be there for me? Big question, is Social Security going broke? Is there enough money set aside in the special government bonds? Or is it being spent as this part of our national debt and deficit spending? How about how much can I expect to receive? And this is an opportune time. I'm glad everybody's here because we're going to show you how to calculate the benefits. And we're going to talk about when you should start receiving Social Security benefits. Should you draw now at a younger age? Or should you wait later and get those bigger checks? And throughout your lifetime with the cost of living adjustments, it'll compound out to be more money. So we'll try to help you decide that. How you can maximize your benefits. We're actually going to talk about 5 different strategies for maximizing the benefits. And a couple of the strategies you'll probably have never heard about before. They're very interesting to look at, and it's a great way to get much more out of Social Security than what most people do. And then, of course, we're going to talk about whether Social Security will be enough to live on during retirement. Probably not. For most people, it's just a base in their plan. Maybe for senior citizens retiring years ago, maybe your parents' Social Security is enough to get by on, but basically it's not enough these days. So it's just one of the fixed income assets that you have coming in. So the value of Social Security, a lot of times people undervalue what Social Security is worth, but in reality, Social Security is worth millions of dollars over your lifetime. How it adds up, if you look at a monthly benefit of $2,000 starting today, if you live 10 years into retirement, it ends up being $304,000 that you've drawn out of the system. If you live 20 years into retirement, $673,000. That's a pretty healthy sum of money, isn't it? And if you live 30 years into retirement, like 50% of people will do that reach age 65, that's $1,160,000. So per couple, that could potentially be $2.2 million, $2.3 million that you're drawing out of Social Security if it's done right. Now, second thing about Social Security is it includes a cost of living adjustment. So historically, Social Security has an inflationary bump. And in this example here, if you're starting off with $2,000 in today's dollars, 10 years into retirement, if we have 2.8% cost of living adjustment, your benefit will be $2,636 per month. 20 years into retirement, $3,473, and 30 years into retirement, the benefit, $4,580. So historically, what Social Security will do is they'll give you an increase year by year. Now, how this increase is determined, third quarter of last year, 2012, they'll look at the cost of living or how much inflation goes up between third quarter last year to third quarter this year. And then in October, the Board of Trustees meets, and then they decide what inflationary adjustment you get in your benefits. Do you know what the inflationary adjustment was for 2013? 1.7%, correct. And in 2012, the benefit adjustment was 3.6% inflationary adjustment. How about 2010 and 2011? Do you remember what it was then? 0. Yeah, there's no inflationary adjustment. So it can vary year by year, whatever the Board of Trustees comes up with. And one of the items on the table right now, there's talk in the paper, and this at the end of 2012, we had the fiscal cliff, or as my clients up north call it, the physical cliff. They wish. Everybody just jump off and solve all our problems. But so Congress was talking about, they said, well, you know, if we don't start doing something with Social Security benefits, you know, eventually it'll go broke. And actuarially, that's the way it is right now. And so that's one of the items that seems to keep coming to the table as to how they're going to make cost of living adjustments out into the future. And so there's different proposals on the table. If anybody gets a Star Tribune, front page of the paper, of the business section, CEO roundtable from the major corporations around the country basically got together and they're encouraging Congress. They're saying, you know, you have to do a couple things to shore up Social Security so it doesn't run out for everybody. And one of those items is the cost of living adjustment. So the benefit right now is actually ends up being higher than what inflation is. And so they say, yeah, let's bring it back to reality. Second thing that they proposed today is they said to raise the retirement age. So if you're under age 65, they want to raise it to 75. Just kidding. Everybody's like, oh, God. So actually they said if you're under age 55, they're saying, okay, let's start raising the benefit to age 70. And, you know, I think for a lot of people that are under age 55 or might be 50 or 45 or 35, they really don't care because they don't really trust the system. They don't expect to get a lot out of it. So if they raised it to age 70, I don't think there'd be people rioting in the streets. So there are some proposals that we have to watch out for. And historically, what Social Security uses is a 2.8% COLA when they're using their future projections. Okay? Now, the other thing, Social Security has survivor benefits. And how the survivor benefits are made to work, and we'll use this example here. Let's say the gentleman in this picture is getting $2,000 per month, and the spouse is receiving $1,200 per month. So if he dies, predeceases her, she'll be able to jump up to the higher benefit amount of $2,000 per month. So if she predeceases him, he doesn't drop down, and he doesn't get an additional $1,200. He just stays at his $2,000 a month. So the survivor benefits are very important, and originally they set this up because Social Security started in 1935, and back in the day during the 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s, there's a lot more stay-at-home moms, a lot more women that weren't in the workforce building up their own benefit. So now they have, that's where survivor benefits originally came from. Where else do survivor benefits come in handy? Children, sure, yeah. So if you have dependent children, and if you are Social Security eligible, if you die even before retirement, the children are eligible for benefits, along with if there's a stay-at-home parent taking care of those children.